once again, I'm back. I said, and once again, I'm back. This is episode 13. You know what I mean. Fit so clean. Call me Mr. Clean. Hello, how you doing, man? It's the mean green machine. Okay. All right. Anyway, let me stop. All right. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is the Zoom Out Podcast, episode 13. How you guys doing? My name is Vaughn Baptiste. I am a college student, and I'm basically just using this podcast as a little audio diary. So thank you guys for stopping by. Anyway, obviously we start out with how I'm feeling. I'm feeling pretty good. You know what I'm saying? I just got a new hat. I know this has nothing to do with anything else, but I got me a little beanie, you know what I'm saying? My mom's friend, the Creative Lab. Shout out to the Creative Lab. She over there makes like hats and stuff like that. It's my mom's friend. She makes hats and clothes and all that good stuff. And this hat that I got is a satin lined hat. And you know me, if you know me, I always like want to keep my hair right. So either way, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I'm trying to get all these episodes in. Apologize for the random PlayStation sound. But yeah, today I wanted to just talk about like music stuff, because over the winter break, I was actually like watching a bunch of stuff, listening to a bunch of stuff. So I just feel like I might as well start off with music. So over the past month or so, SZA decided to drop her deluxe for her album SOS, which was a really good album. I'm forgetting exactly when that album came out. I can look very quickly and find that out. So SZA's SOS album came out on December 9th, 2022. And it featured songs like Snooze, Kill Bill, Low, Love Language, all that type of jazz, Blind, all that type of stuff. So she came out with this deluxe, solid 2 years later. And some of my favorite songs on there would be What Do I Do, 30 for 30 with Kendrick, Scorsese Baby Daddy, which is a good one, Cry Baby, and Chill Baby. Also, Kitchen is another one as well, but I'll get to that in just a second. Those were some really good songs, all very good melodies. Her vocals are great on all of those songs. Kendrick's verse is amazing on 30 for 30. Kendrick is still just out here just saying crazy stuff. Like there was a specific line that says, "You fucking with niggas just thinking they cuter than you. Oh, see you and your cycle, but he on this period too." Oh, it just sounds. I don't know what it is, but it just every time I see that you listen to that line, it's just like he's just saying like, "Oh, really? We dealing with these type of niggas? Cool. I ain't even gonna say nothing. I'm just my fault. That's not weird. All right, cool. Like it's just that type of vibe, and I just feel like Kendrick is still doing his little victory lap. And just having fun with it at this point, you know. And as a Kendrick fan, this has been the greatest little run that he's on, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it, every single bit of it, and I'm still bumping the GNX album every single day that has passed. So there's that, and also SZA saying chat after being on Kai Cenat's stream. Just hearing her say chat in a song is just interesting, because I know that during the time where people were streaming and listening to the album, that was a good little interactive moment where everybody's just listening to the song, and all of a sudden you hear chat. Should I fold that bitch no yoga mat? Chat. Should a dead ass nigga don't hit me back? It's like, yeah, it was a good little moment. There was a good sample on the song Kitchen, and this is what I was talking about. There was a good sample on there. The sample that she used was the song from the Isley Brothers called Voyage to Atlantis. I highly recommend going to listen to the Voyage to Atlantis Isley Brothers. Honestly, if you don't know anything about the Isley Brothers, yeah, go change that right now. Like, expeditiously. I'm forgetting what the name of that song is that they came out with. Hold on, let me find that real quick, because that's one of my favorite songs by them. Busted, which is a very good song. They are a really good old school group, And yeah, just definitely go and listen to them if you haven't already. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. It made me immediately go and listen to Voyage to Atlantis, because I don't believe that before that I heard that song. So that was a good moment. And I'm appreciating the fact that like these artists are like bringing really good samples out, because it's allowing you to like go back and listen to the really good songs that you never heard before. Like Kendrick, I'm pretty sure on the last episode when I was talking about the GNX album, I was talking about the fact that like he sampled the Luther Vandross song. I'm forgetting the name of it, but yeah, that, and I went to go listen to that song. It was a fantastic song, and I've had it played. I've had it on my listening rotation for a solid minute. So yeah, I really appreciated that. Also, just like a random thing that I just thought about, that freaking that white dude on the Radar who was sitting there and saying, bro, if you're putting like samples, like soul samples in your music, get out of here with that bullshit. Nobody's trying to hear that. I'm so tired of soul samples. Meanwhile, you're a white kid that just got into the black sphere and the black artistry, which is hip hop, and now you're deciding to say, oh, I hate soul, when that's literally a part of every single song. That's a part of every single song. Like, bro, what are you actually talking about? There's so many songs, so many artists that have used samples in their music. Every single person, every artist, every producer has put a soul sample into a beat, and it's all been great. And all of a sudden now we want to act as if it's a whole problem because it's soul sample. Like, this is why when white artists or white producers come into the hip hop sphere, it's so disingenuous, because that's what everyone who has already listened to hip hop for the majority of their lives, that's what they all know. That's what they all are used to. There has been countless moments where you hear a Jay-Z song or a Kanye West song, and that could be one of your favorite songs, and there's like 4 soul samples in that song, but all of a sudden now in the big 2025, all of a sudden we want to go into the year and say some stupid shit. So anyway, I digress. All I have on that is y'all are crazy if y'all listen to people like that who say the dumb shit that they say. But anyway, moving on. So for that Lana Deluxe, that was like a solid. I want to say it was a little bit better than the original SOS. I'd give it a better rating than that one. Because I mean, there's a lot of songs on the original SOS track list that were really good, but I can definitely say I like this lineup of songs like way better. But that's just me. It's just my opinion. Take it with a grain of salt. But I did really enjoy it. So next I have this other album that I was listening to recently, actually like within the past like 2 weeks, was the OFA album by Oxlade, who is an African artist. The first time I've heard from him was this class that I had on campus, and he like, I just had to go and like, actually, no, I don't think it was like we had to find anybody. I think she was just like exposing us to different artists, and we ended up like coming across Oxlade, and he ended up being like one of my favorites now. Like I really enjoy his music. So the album is called Ofa, or Oxlade from Africa. The songs on that album sound amazing. It's all a vibe. It's all obviously African sounds. So if that's a part of your heritage, or you just want to get up and groove to some good old fashioned African sounds, that album right there is something that you definitely should give a listen to. There's some of the songs that I listened to prior to me listening to this album, which was Intoxicated by Dave. That song was really good. I really enjoyed that one. Kulosa, which is another one. Piano and Category, which I'm pretty sure Piano and Category were actually in a 2-pack or something like that. But yeah, those 4 songs were songs that I constantly had in my rotation, and I really enjoyed them. So please go ahead and give those songs a listen if you haven't already. But some new songs that I actually really like was Asunaza. I'm pretty sure that was featured with Wande Cole. I'm not very hip, I guess I'll say that word, to Wande Cole, but after listening to the verse that he had on this song, I might actually give his music a little bit more of a listen. And then the next one was Ifa. I'm forgetting. I don't know why I didn't put like the names of the artists that were on the song on there. So let me just find this real quick. Fali Ipupa. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm not entirely sure. Don't shoot me. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's another good one that I really enjoy. And then there was a title track, Ofa, which was very good as well. And then actually the second song on the entire thing, which was Olation. Remember, I'm not from Africa or anything like that, so if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, please, I apologize. But yeah, these songs were really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the album itself came out in September, so I'm a little upset that it took me a little while to even listen to this album or even hear that it came out. But hey, I like it, so it's all good and it's all well and dandy, honestly. And I guess I'll just throw a single in there for you guys. And I'm gonna get more into what I'm about to say later, but like there's this character on the new Squid Game series, which I will talk about later. And he came out with a song when did this song come out? Oh, this song came out years ago, 2021, but he has a song called Bolo with YDG. And yeah, that's been on repeat for a little bit as of recently. So yeah, there you go. That's the music. That's the music right there. That's all the good music that I've been listening to for the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, a month. I don't know. But now I want to go into movies. Some solid movies that I went out and saw. Well, 2 of them I actually just like sat in my room and just watched it on Netflix. But the first one I went to see was MUFASA, which is it's technically, I want to say, a prequel to the original Lion King movie. Now granted, I know probably if you have heard about it and this, that, and the third, you've obviously heard the songs. I always went to the brother or anything like that. Hey man, honestly, when I was in the movie theater listening to it, I enjoyed it because it was just like it was a funny little thing. But I mean, people obviously on the internet are going to hate, but you can't hate when it was Lin-Manuel Miranda who made the songs. Like, there's such good songs, and Lin-Manuel Miranda was he basically put his little Hamilton spin on it. That's what it felt like. But yeah, just I guess I'm gonna still be getting into songs here, but we'll obviously start with the songs because it's a musical. There was Bye Bye, which was actually a vibe. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember exactly the names of the artists that were singing it, but I enjoyed Bye Bye a lot. I was in the movie theater just like hitting a little jig to it because I was like, hold on, this sounds kind of cool. Hold on. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out how it goes. I'm gonna be the last thing you see before you go. Bye bye. Till you go bye bye. Doom doom doom. It was just a vibe. I don't know. It was like a little eerie sound to it. I liked how it was, and also with the models and stuff like that, just actually like singing it. It was interesting. Then the We Go Together song with I'm pretty sure the characters that were singing it were Scar, Mufasa, and Sarabi, and also Rafiki as well. Which I'm gonna talk about Scar, that little punk. I'm gonna talk about him. Actually, you know what? We're gonna talk about him right now. Honestly, me and my homies hate Scar, even though he was kind of cool in the original movie. But me and my homies hate that dude because he got mad at Mufasa for literally no reason. He didn't even do anything. Like, in all like seriousness, my dog did not do a single thing wrong. I just got to be honest. Clap it up for Mufasa. Clap it up for Mufasa. He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. This man got okay. So Obviously spoilers for Mufasa. If you even plan on watching it, most likely you don't, because if you've either heard of all of the things surrounding the movie, or you just don't feel like going to see it. Either way, spoilers. So Scar got mad, obviously, because the whole idea was, he stole Mufasa stole his girl. He stole Sarabi from him. Meanwhile, what happened in this movie that showed you was the entire time, like, Scar was just fumbling. Like, that's all he was doing. Like, Mufasa didn't even break bro code with it. Like, he didn't even do anything wrong. He quite literally was trying to help him throughout the entire situation. He realized that Scar wanted her, so he was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna help you out a little bit. And then I'm pretty sure it was, if I'm remembering correctly, Sarabi was obviously so Mufasa and Scar were talking a little bit as they were like moving away from the original area where like their whole Scar's family got captured or whatever, or like got killed. So they were running away, and they ended up meeting with Sarabi and meeting with Rafiki, all that good stuff. And then as they're like on this little journey, they proceed. Scar and Mufasa are like talking, and Scar is trying to figure out how to even get with her and get with Sarabi. And Mufasa sat there and was like, you know what, I'm gonna help you out. So a way that you can do that is like tell her, oh, like you smell you smell like roses, this, that, and the third. Not roses, it was some type of flower, but like he like giving him little pointers and stuff. And obviously Scar was like, how do you know that? And he was like, because I pay attention. Which was kind of like the little seasoning on the, hey, Mufasa and Sarabi are gonna end up together, but like still. So he was giving him all these pointers and trying to help him out a little bit, and then all this nigga decided to do was go over there and fumble super hard and call her and say that she smells like a duck. Like, you fumbled. That was all you, Brody. But then the most egregious part was that as they were trying to continue with this journey, if you go see the movie, you'll understand the context, because I don't want to sit here and explain the entire movie. But there was some white lions that were attacking or trying to find them because they attacked one of their kind. So as these four are like on their journey, the white lions are still trying to like capture them. So they end up actually finding them at one point, and there's like a whole like line of elephants just like right there. So, and I'm pretty sure it was Sarabi and Scar. No, I think it was just Sarabi that like had the idea to just create an elephant stampede. So that's what they did. And once the stampede started, everything started going haywire, and I'm pretty sure Sarabi ended up getting knocked out from the whole situation. And then Mufasa decided, okay, let me take it upon myself. I see Sarabi, let me help out. And as he's like dragging her like under something so that she can hide while the stampede is still going, he says, I got you. As she's like slowly passing out. And then as we move forward, she wakes up, everybody's like surrounding her, and she's like, wait, what happened? Who saved me? And Mufasa was about to, I think it was Rafiki that was about to say, no, I don't remember exactly who was saying it. It was either Rafiki or it was Taka himself, or Taka meaning Scar. It was either one of them that was about to say Mufasa's name, but Mufasa immediately charged in and was like, it was Taka that did that. Scar, it was him. He saved you. Because as you can see, he's still trying to help bro out. He's still trying to help you out, bro. He's still trying to help you out. And the only reason why that ended up not working out was because at a certain point, Rafiki was trying to get on Mufasa's back, and then as he was like getting on, Mufasa said, I got you. And then Sarabi was like, what? Like she said to her, like she was behind him, and he was like, wait, what? And then she remembered that that's what Mufasa said as he was helping her. So then she ended up finding it out, and then all of a sudden she like starts pressing him, and she starts pressing Mufasa a little bit later into the movie, and then they end up slowly falling in love because he saved her and all that type of stuff. And it's like, my whole point in saying that is, Mufasa did nothing wrong, and Scar is a little punk. That's exactly that's the case. He a little punk. He act like he all big, and he was acting like he was all big and bad in the other movie, but he was just like his punk ass daddy, who was sitting there and basically letting everybody else do their bidding, even though he was supposed to be like the one that was actually like doing the dirty work. As you can see in the old school movie, he was quite literally having the hyenas do everything for him, because his bitch ass daddy. At this point, I'm just getting my shit off. I apologize, guys, but yeah, there's already going to be like a explicit warning for this. So, hey man, you knew what you were signing up for when you listen to this podcast. Anyway, so basically, they ended up. Wait, where was I going with that? But yeah, because his punk daddy decided that he was going to just sit there and be like, hey, with us, we just have to like as the men, we have to just sit here and like protect our pride as he's slowly falling asleep, because he's not like, because he ain't doing nothing. You a little punk. You ain't even doing nothing at all. You ain't doing nothing, punk. Anyway, while the mom went out and was actually like in the field doing stuff and ended up getting killed, which was the entire reason as to why they ran away. But yeah. And then on top of that, another point that I have with the whole Scar as a punk thing, he proceeded to also get mad at him because Mufasa because he quote unquote stole his kingdom. He didn't steal anything. He literally, like, they went over to this new kingdom, which was, okay, hold on. Let me try to figure out. Let me remember what the name of this place was. Where was Mufasa going in the movie? He was going to Namibia, I believe. I don't know. I don't remember exactly the name of the place that they were going, but they were going to this like new land where they would all be safe and stuff like that. And the White Lions ended up following up. They ended up getting into a fight. Mufasa and the rest of their gang won that fight, and then after that whole situation, obviously the people of the land that were previously there, I'm saying people like they aren't animals, but like the animals that were in that land, they saw that Mufasa was the one that was literally helping the entire time, and yo bitch ass freaking Scar, who decided to switch up simply because, oh, quote unquote, Mufasa stole your girl, even though that's not what happened, because I just explained that. You switched up and told the lions previously where they were going, and continued to leave trails behind so that they can follow up with you the entire time, because you were a little bitch. And you sitting here like you was just in the back line basically doing nothing, and then obviously the people of the land are going to sit there and be like, you know what, Mufasa helped us out and actually kept us safe and told us to raise our heads because we're not this, that, and the third. I want to make you king. I want to make you the king, the leader of this kingdom, because you helped us out, which obviously sets up the next movie. But like, you helped out, so we want to give this all honor to you. Of course, that's gonna happen. But this nigga want to sit here and act as if Mufasa did anything wrong. Like, are you serious? You're crazy for that. But all right, I'm getting a little ahead of myself with this one. But like, just in general, obviously, Scar didn't deserve it because he a punk, and that's all that matters. Now, aside from that, I will say that the little moments where the little lion cub at the start of the movie was like, because basically the entire time throughout this entire movie, Rafiki is telling the little lion cub, which was the daughter of Simba. he was telling him, Rafiki was telling her this entire story of like how Mufasa came to be and this, that, and the third. Obviously that was kind of like the little moments. Now, granted, it was fine, but the reason why people are having like a little bit of issue with that specific part was because of Timon and Pumbaa just like throwing in their jokes here and there and this, that, and the third. But in the grand scheme of things, in my brain, what I believe is that they just did that because at the start of one of the movies, they quite literally just have Timon and Pumbaa in silhouettes at a movie theater watching the movie. So basically that's what's happening in this movie. They're just sitting in the back, like listening to the story and like putting their little 2 cents in. Granted, that wasn't the entirety of the first movie, but that's kind of still like maybe to still enforce, obviously, that Timon and Pumbaa is like, oh, they were here during this, but like obviously certain people aren't going to entirely enjoy that aspect to it. So, hey man, it was all good. People are obviously going to believe this movie was like just a cash grab or anything like that, or just like, you know what I'm saying, just belittle on it or hate on it just because of whatever reason. And that's obviously what comes with a part 2 to a movie at this day and age, because people are believing that every movie nowadays is a cash grab, which it could just be a cash grab, but also it's also just like people coming out with movies. Like obviously people want like new ideas and stuff like that, and I'm a part of that group as well. But hey man, a part 2 to that movie, or like technically a part 1, I mean, I ain't mad at it. Because like I said on in this little notes that I'm reading right now, it wasn't like a bad watch. Like I didn't hate it. Now granted, I wasn't thinking about even seeing it because I didn't even know it was coming out. But now I went to see it with my family, and I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it. Now granted, would I probably see it again? I'm saying it's not likely that I'd watch that movie again, but I still would give that movie like a solid, like maybe 6.5 or 7. It wasn't a terrible movie by the slightest. It was not a terrible movie in any way, but I liked it. It wasn't bad. It was a solid first watch. And if you haven't seen it, or you've just seen the clips and you're just seeing people saying, oh, it's terrible, 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 please go and watch the movie. I'm so tired of people. Obviously, people are going to give their takes, but please do not take like if you are thinking about a movie or you see the movie, even if it has bad ratings, just go see it. Go see the movie and just be like, oh, okay, so this is what they meant by that shit. That shit was ass. Maybe that's what that meant. Okay, like at least you can now understand like why it was so bad, because people obviously are going to go on social media and be like, oh my god, this was so bad. Like this was just unnecessary, and then there's this that was just unnecessary, and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, I didn't see anything that I saw after the movie. After I finished watching the movie, I was just like, did we watch the same movie? Because like that, I didn't feel like the songs were too much at all. I didn't feel like they just added the songs because, oh, it needs to be songs in a movie. Like, it made sense. And I didn't feel like it was like, oh, these songs were worse than the other ones. Also, I don't care if these are better or not. I'm not there to see to listen to the songs. I'm there to watch the movie. I don't really care. Like there's maybe one song that I didn't really care for in the movie, but that was like, I don't know. It wasn't that serious to me. But yeah, I recommend, not highly, but I recommend to go see that movie. If you've just been seeing all the clips and you're making up your mind on the entire movie just based off that, I say definitely go ahead and like go see for yourself exactly how that movie is, so you can get your own opinion and go with an open mind, because you going in there with already made up mind and all that stuff, you're just gonna hate on the movie even more, and I don't think that's fair. Granted, it is like, you can do whatever you want, but so yeah, there's that. The next 2 movies that I actually watched back to back were Knives Out and Glass Onion. Now, beforehand, I never saw these movies. Like when they came out, I never got around to seeing them, but there was like one night that it was like of the weekend that I was just like constantly up all night because I did like overnight shifts and stuff like that at work. So I just decided to stay up, and like I think it was actually after I watched, like I took a nap or something like that, and I stayed up throughout the entire morning and watched both of these movies. Now, granted, I don't know why I say granted. Now these movies were really good. Like I really enjoyed them. They were very good. They're murder mystery movies. It's basically this detective that's like going in, like the first one at least is the detective goes and meets up with his family because they heard of a murder and stuff like that. And they end up like trying to figure out like, oh, what happened to the person? Like what happened? And then they end up figuring out like a suspect and this, that, and the third. And then at the end of the movie, you realize, oh, the twist is it was this person in the family, the low life in the family, or the reject in the family, or the person that they don't like. This is the person that set up this whole situation to end up getting the inheritance of the person that died. Like, granted, if you just say it the way I did it, like it's like really simple, but like it was very well executed. I will 100% say it was like the acting was great. I was basically on the edge of my seat for like pretty much the entire time, and I enjoyed that twist of, oh, it was this person that everyone hated. Now, granted, now like in retrospect, it does seem as if like, oh, that was so obvious, but I enjoyed it for the most part. I really believe that they did it very well. I'll probably just have to like go and see like who the director was, who the writer was, because I mean I'm in a screenwriting class now, so I might see what they were even doing in the studio and like read the screenplay. But I think it was a great movie. There was the acting was really good. The detective was really funny and really good the entire time, and he was just like. He seemed like he was like the introduction to him, because he was just in the background like while the entire family was like explaining, oh, like their last moments with the father and all this type of stuff. And anytime they started talking about a certain thing or they started going off on tangents and stuff like that, all he would do is sit in the background with a silhouette on and just presses a key on the piano, and basically that is supposed to mean stop. Which was very like, who is this dude? But that was a good way to like introduce him, and then ending up seeing like how he even ended up knowing what was going on in whole time he was at the party that night or something like that. It was really interesting to me. And I really want to go and see more movies like that, which is why I decided to watch Glass Onion. I wanted to see more movies like that, and I believe that Glass Onion specifically was a very good follow-up to the original. This one, it wasn't like a family, it was an entirely new cast, except for the detective, which was really good. I was not expecting a random Janelle Monáe lead. I was not expecting that, but she was great too. I believe that like she did her big one with that one, because like with the entire situation going on, obviously they know each other and all that type of stuff. The twist at the end, having it be just like, oh, there was really the sister that had came to this party and had came to this this little family get together or like friend get together and stuff like that with this other dude who wanted to pull a prank on everybody because he didn't like he wanted them to do this little murder mystery game, which is why he even like brought the detective on to, which we ended up finding out at the end of the movie, which was really good. Hey man, I will say those were the two movies that I really feel like might be up there for me at this point, because like of all the movies that I started watching honestly throughout this past couple months, all the Harry Potter movies, the Glass Onion, Knives Out, American Psycho, Truman Show, these are all good movies, and I really want to start getting more into them. Now, granted, I am a film student, so that should have been the case already, but now that I'm exposed to movies like this, I want to find like the genre that I really enjoy. Because granted, obviously, I've also been watching like Suits, and which was a great show, and then the other shows, I'm forgetting the name, Breaking Bad, and all that type of stuff. Like I'm really trying to figure out the genres of movies that I really enjoy. but yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. Glass Onion and Knives Out were like a solid 9 out of 10. And I really liked it. But one thing that I really did find hilarious in that movie was at the end when basically the detective once again figures out what was going on. And then he realizes, and just all he's the only idea that he has throughout the entire movie is, you stupid. This guy is just so stupid. This plan was just so dumb. Like, he was so dumb, and I just didn't think about it until now, and I'm realizing you're so dumb. It was just because basically the entire time, like at the start of the movie, there was supposed to be this whole like family dinner, and everybody is sitting at the table, and obviously the person that set up this whole little shebang was going to sit at the head of the table, and across the way is a statue with a crossbow, and at some random moment, it was supposed to be a shot that goes off of the arrow, and then it goes straight into his chest. He dies. That was supposed to be the whole little thing that goes on to start the murder mystery. And within like 2 seconds, the detective found that out, and then proceeded to like unintentionally give him an idea. So then he proceeded to like get this whole thing done, and everything started going crazy. And then the detective was like figured it out, like with all the context clues that he ended up getting throughout the movie. And it was just like, it was funny just hearing him just like slowly start realizing everything that was going on, and just like constantly saying, you're so dumb. You over here doing this, and this. And the dumbest part about it is you stole the idea from me. You idiot. Like, I don't know what it was. It was just so funny. But back to Janelle Monáe's acting, her like switch up from being just like this soft-spoken woman to ending up being the twin sister of that woman who was like this country bumpkin type woman. And just like the acting also at the end when she realizes that like at this point she has no way of like really getting back at this person, because everything will end up being hearsay because there's no evidence of anything that happened there. So she said, okay. And then with the help of the detective, proceeded to be like, I bet. And then started destroying every glass object in that building. And then everything else glass in that building started becoming destroyed after that. It was such a epic like scene. And then on top of it, just like there was certain moments in the movie that were just so like hilarious that if you haven't seen those movies, I genuinely recommend going to see them, because golly, they were something else. So yeah, that will end off me talking about movies, because wow, like those 3 movies that I mentioned were pretty good. I like obviously the last 2 than the first one, but I mean I'm not mad at any of them. They were pretty good. So clap it up for the movies. Clap it up for the movies. Clap it up for the movies. Fantastic. So next, I obviously want to go ahead and talk about Squid Game. The new season just recently came out. Solid 8 episodes. I'm so tired of shows only having 8 episodes now, but I digress. So when we last left Jihan, he decided to finally go back and dismantle the entire game, because obviously like he has that savior's mentality where he wants to, like, because he just went through that whole situation, he wanted to now figure out how he was going to just like dismantle the entire thing after getting that phone call at the airport. So yeah, there was that was where we last left him off. And obviously this time he, throughout like the first episode and the second episode, he ends up managing to get back in there. And I just found that pretty good. The thing that I found very interesting at the start, now granted, if you haven't seen it yet, once again, spoilers, this entire episode is just like a spoiler filled episode. So if you haven't seen it, go watch it before I even finish what I'm going to end up saying for the next like 10-20 minutes. But them starting off and showing how these people had full ability to, instead of going with this random guy in a suit and with a suitcase, instead of going with him and just going doing the games and all that type of stuff and being humiliated outside and this, that, and the third, you either had a choice from the bread or the lottery ticket. That's how they started off the season. They had the dude, the sales guy, having like a bunch of bread in his hand and then a bunch of lottery, and he goes over to these homeless people and asks them which one they want to choose. And instead of choosing the bread when they probably haven't even eaten for the past couple of days, they decide instead to go ahead and take the lottery ticket. They'd rather take the chance of getting the money than the actual thing that they really, really need. For like a really and truly like a 10% chance of even getting the lottery at that point. And it's like seeing that in the actual show itself made you realize, like, damn, there's a real level of greed that some people have, or desperate levels that somebody can have, where they will genuinely sit there and take the least optimal situation in order to try to get out of their situation. And it's really insane to think about, because you obviously, if you're like the regular person is going to sit here and be like, why would you take the money? Why would you take that? Why wouldn't you just take the bread? I feel like in that situation, you really don't know what you would choose. I feel like you would immediately, like, given the choice, and given like being in hard times and stuff like that, you would most likely take the money as well. Now, granted, you would want to sit here and say that, no, like, I would be the smart person who would do this, that, and the third, but you don't know that until you end up being in that situation, and hope to God you don't end up being in that situation, which is, yeah. So there's that. But yeah, I just found that really interesting, because like, you would hope to God that you wouldn't be in the situation, but if you end up being in that situation, you don't know what you would choose. And if you end up choosing that option, you have to then realize that you just chose 100% viable way for you to be able to eat and enjoy yourself, or taking a small chance way of getting out of your situation, or taking like a shortcut, because that bread would help, but I feel like getting the lottery is a shortcut to doing that. And I feel like that's the thing that they want to immediately establish within the first couple episodes. So once Jihan ends up going into the actual games, he realizes that obviously the first game was the same. It was just a red light, green light. And he thought he was going to be the savior that everybody wanted and all. And he just was like, I played these games before. It just turned into a meme. That's the only reason why I'm laughing. But he thought that just him saying that is going to make anybody care in that situation, because obviously the people that are there don't really care at all. And then also they started questioning him on like, okay, so if you've done this already, why are you here again? Which was a good question. But then again, obviously, they're the characters that don't know like the previous thing. But if you obviously look back into the first season, you realize that at this point he just has he has PTSD and all that type of stuff. So he was just like, nah, I want to go over there and help people get out of the situation. But granted, ain't nobody going to be going over there and actually doing no, they're not going to do that. But yeah, he tries to like help people out and gives them the forewarning to not move, because if you move when she says red light, that's KO for you. Even after like he said, don't move, this, that, and the third, and don't run, all that type of stuff, there was still some people that ended up getting shot from it. because they didn't listen, or they got moved, or they sneezed, or anything like that. And then all of a sudden, once they started shooting, now everybody wants to run away and this, that, and the third, which is not good still, because you're not supposed to run. But yeah, so that obviously that game was the same, which was interesting, because then after the fact, either it was that game or it was the next game afterwards, but he then wanted to see if anybody wanted to do they wanted to vote to get out, because he realized that was a option last season. So the people in the suits, in the circles, the triangles, all that type of stuff, and the masks, they decided, okay, you want to go ahead and see, you want to vote? Okay, bet. And then they put it up for a vote, and they had this little machine that had the circle and the X, which means you either you leave or you stay. And before people started voting, that's when they decided to pull out the money and be like, by the way, if you leave, you will only get this much money, and if you stay, you get more money. But then, if you remember, also it's based off how many people die. For every single person, that's $1 million or a certain amount of money. I'm not sure, but that is the caveat to this whole situation. So once people start voting, you start to realize that, like, even after seeing people die, that these people are so greedy in their want to see this money, to get this money, that they would rather continue this bloodshed than stop it. And that was just the most interesting part to me, because and I'm not gonna lie, I sat there and like had a whole fucking spat about this while I was at work watching it, and it was just like, wow, when people are like that desperate, they end up doing the most greedy things, because they want to get out of their situation, because all these people are in debt, like super in debt, but like they would rather go in there and do that than go ahead and just, I don't know, not, and just take the amount of money. Because like there, and if you think about it, throughout the entire season, they had multiple situations where you could have left. Like even after this game that I'm talking about, like even after red light, green light, and after like they did their first initial voting, after every game after that, they still had the opportunity to leave, and more people started siding with the other side. But like then there was other people who would be like, yeah, I'm gonna stay with you guys, the circles, and then proceeded to go over there and the X's, and then proceeded to go over here and hit the circle. I'm like, you're stupid. You literally saw people dying, and now you want to make it so that your situation is 10 times worse, and you want to keep going? What did you switch up for, you stupid idiot? But yeah, that's crazy. But then they ended up getting into the new games, and the new games were very interesting. Actually, it was if I'm remembering correctly, it was the one game where they just kind of stood on this circular panel, and it just started going in circles, and they're singing this song, round and round we go, this, that, and the third. And the whole game was, after the circle, like the circular panel or whatever stopped moving, you had to find a room quickly, and also had to find a certain amount of people. So once the thing stopped, you had to listen very closely to the number and then grab whoever. So if it said you need 4 people, you go ahead and you quickly grab 3 people, and you run into a room, close the door behind you, and if you're if you're sure that it's 4 people and then this, that, and the third, you're good. And they have cameras everywhere, so it's not like you could just go in the room with 3 people and you could just hide. Because if you had 3 people in that room and they said 4, y'all all are dying. It's including the people that didn't even end up getting into a room, which was the craziest part about all of that. And I don't think there was really many other games other than those 2, because they ended up going into an all-out brawl. But before we even get into that, I want to say the new characters were pretty good. The new character, like the new like situation, or like the new character types that they brought in were interesting. It was a bunch of veterans as well, which was an interesting little add-on, which I'll get into a little bit later. but it was really good to see these new characters being in the situation. You know what I'm saying? I still have more appreciation for the old group. You know what I'm saying? RIP 67. You know what I mean? I don't remember exactly how to pronounce her name, but you know, she was my favorite, and RIP to her. Yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, her. I remember her. She like from last season. She was great. So I'm glad that they brought some new characters. Thanos specifically was probably my favorite, even though he was a little bit of a jerk. A little bit is crazy, but he was a crazy ass dude. He still was kind of going crazy. Like he was perked up the entire episodes, and it was hilarious because like they were doing the circles and everybody is sitting there like scared and trying to make sure that they end up getting with another person, and all you see is Thanos and one of his goons like on the side just like hitting the happy dance and stuff like that because they're perked up and stuff like that. It was a funny little thing. And then there would be random moments where he just says something funny like "Welcome to the Thanos world." Or whatever, because he's a rapper, so he's just like has that little like cool slang type of thing. And then there was the one character, I don't remember what number she had. I just remember that she was a transgender girl. But yeah, she was really good. Well, on that last episode, she went insane. She was on some sharpshooter type ish because at some point throughout the show, I believe it's like maybe episode 5, I want to say episode 4, they end up like once everybody does like the full like the killing and stuff, because obviously within the first episode that's what happened, so they brought it back. And after like all the bloodshed that happened, they proceeded to, and I'm gonna get back to this moment, this topic in a moment, because there's something I want to say after this, but like they ended up to like fight the people, like the people in the pink suits that came in, and they ended up grabbing their guns, and specifically the transgender girl, I don't remember her name, but she went crazy. Like now granted she was in the military, which we ended up finding out like on this episode, but like my God, she grabbed that gun and started looking like Call of Duty Black Ops. Like she started going insane. But it did make a statement with her and the other characters, like I was saying, that like some of the most desperate people out there are the retired veterans that become homeless. And they have to fight tooth and nail to be able to do everything that they need to even survive at that point. But yeah, it was something that was just really interesting about it. But just like in general, her character was great. And something else that I wrote down was the fact that this is basically just going back to what I said earlier. The fact that throughout the entire show, it continuously shows them that they have full ability to end the greed and go home, yet they want to proceed with the games, even though these people are dying, simply because they see this piggy bank that's coming from the ceiling with all of this money on it. And it's just something that was interesting. And the fact that they wanted to keep playing under the guise that they would all be able to get the money, even though they were seeing people dying, like knowing that could be them, was probably the craziest thing to me. And that's why this season had made me realize like the power of greed, and the power that can hold over a person. And man, if there's one thing I will say, I do not plan on ever having that much greed. Absolutely not. But yeah, it was just something that was really mind blowing to me. But to get back to that little moment where they all had that fight with the forks and whatnot, I'm just gonna say this for anybody who's wondering. Me and my homies hate player 125. Me and all my homies hate that dude with a burning passion. If you like 125 from Squid Game, you and that individual right there are both some pussies. I want to say that blatantly, just so that y'all are not confused. Anyway, with him specifically, he literally had the opportunity to save his only savior, that saved him during the moments where Thanos and his goons were like trying to press him to make sure he wanted to keep playing the game. This girl literally made it so that they would stop messing with him. And bro saw her getting attacked by Thanos and his goons, and proceeded to all this nigga did was throw the glass bottle down because he was sitting on top of the bunk beds. He threw a glass bottle which fell on the ground, and then proceeded to hide right afterwards. So all that she could have done was try to grab the thing and stab him, but it didn't happen. And Thanos' goons ended up freaking stabbing her up with the fork in the glass like multiple times, and we ended up having to visually see an up close and personal shot of her dying, even though this little bitch was able, clear as day, to do anything about that. I swear on everything I love, if it was me, I'm jumping down and I'm swan kicking that little nigga. I'm swan diving onto, I'm Goomba stomping him. I swear to God. Bro, me and my homies hate 125, and people trying to sit here and say that, oh, he could have been a VIP. I don't give a damn. I don't care. That does not give you the right to sit here and let your savior die. You're crazy for that. You are insane. Anyway, you could have done something. He could have done quite literally anything. He could have even stayed like looking at him and started like saying something to him, and that would have given the girl enough time to leave, and probably him enough time because he was on the top bunk. They can't do anything. But like, bro, you could have done literally anything. Literally anything. You're like, bro, are you serious? Like, are you serious, bro? But yeah, like, this is like, me and my homies hate player 125, and if you had any liking to that nigga even after that moment, you and that little piece of crap can both kick rocks in church socks. I said what I said. Anyway, moving on. That was a hilarious. That was such a weird moment. Just seeing this nigga just sit there and throw the glass bottle on the ground. Like, bro, are you serious? But whatever. So moving on before I get heated again. Something else that was very interesting to me, but I honestly expected, was the front man ending up being player number one and then turning on Jihan at the end. That was expected. He was literally the front man for the entire time when we saw his face first. And then all of a sudden he ends up being number one in this game and tries to help Jihan and the group of people that wanted to stop playing the game out. Like, I knew at some point he was going to. Like, they were trying to make it so that, like, oh, there was this little friendship that happened. Like, they started to trust one another. Granted, Jihan always had like a side eye for him. I was like, hey man, I do not trust bro at all, bro. I don't trust bro at all. And there was even a moment during the circular panel thing where him and two people were in a room when they had said they only need two people in there. And mind you, the dude that he did this to was in there first. The both of them just walked into a room, and then he proceeded, and then the front man proceeded to grab bro and snap his neck. I'm like, bro, that is crazy. Like he had, and the dude had to like sit there and watch as that happened, and like he was going to say something, but he was like, you know what? Actually, let me shut up because it might be grits for everybody, but. I did expect it, because granted, number one last season was the old dude who was at the end, and was like on his deathbed staring out, which was interesting. But I'm just like, I had a feeling that was gonna happen, and I was just like, man, I just didn't know when he was going to end up actually doing it, but hopefully season 3 ends up showing us what happens to Jihan after the fact when he was like getting closer to the front office, and the front man decided that was the time to turn, shot his other two people that were right there, and then basically captured him, basically captured Jihan. So hopefully we end up figuring out what happens to Jihan at the end of the season 3, or at the start of season 3, whatever. Hopefully that also comes quickly because, man, I feel like season 2 was going to have a good close out to it, but obviously they need more episodes because for some odd reason on Netflix, everything is only 8 episodes, which I want to just quickly touch on. I don't like it. I really wish more episodes were added. Like, all of this could have been one season, maybe, or anything like that. But I understand, like, I really like the shows that are like an hour long episodes and all that, but like only 8 episodes is not enough. Like, give them a little bit more time to breathe, like, or like just have it all in one. I really don't like the way that Netflix is going, but I might touch on that in a different episode. But I don't know. I just don't like it. But to end off this very, very long topic and this very, very long episode, I will say that season 2 for me on Squid Game was a solid, I want to say maybe 7.5 to 8 for me. The only reason why those couple points are deducted a little bit is just because they ended up obviously bringing it, like having it be like continued on season 3, which is like, all right, this is where I might agree with the people that are like, this is cash grabby, but whatever, it is what it is. I'm gonna still be watching even when it comes out, so I can't really complain. But yeah, there's that. I have been I have been very much enjoying this past month of content that I have gotten into. And hopefully I can find more stuff to talk about. I want to watch some more movies, watch some more shows. I just started the show The Lincoln Lawyer, thanks to Pierre, which is my brother. And I hopefully can start watching a lot more stuff, especially since I just finished Suits after 6 months, and that show was amazing. So yeah, hopefully I can watch some more stuff and come back and talk about my ideas and my thoughts on it. So I just want to say thank you so much for hold on, what am I doing? I've been podcasting. I have not been podcasting in a month. Please bear with me anyway. Hell am I doing? Thank you so much for stopping by and listening to me yamble and ramble and blamble and blah 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 for an hour. I really appreciate anyone who decides to come by every week on Thursday at 2:00 and listen to me talk. I want to go with this podcast. I want to really do more with this podcast. I want to make sure that I can sit here and use this audio diary as something that just is interesting to people, and like they can hear my thoughts, because I have a lot of thoughts, and I just kind of talk to myself about it for the most part, but having this podcast is making it so that I can just sit here and like get some ideas out, stay creative, like I said on the last episode last week, and just make sure that I'm on top of it. And I really hope that you guys are enjoying the topics that I have. I plan on there being an interview at some point, but hopefully we'll get that. So thank you guys so much for tuning into the Zoom Out podcast. I am your host, Vaughn Baptiste. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. So peace.